Hey there, guys. It's me again. It's P. Um, just wanted to talk to you a little bit about my theories on human origin. Now, this is going to be an in-depth deal that I'm going to be talking about when it comes to this. Now, there's a lot of speculation as far as the origin of humankind, and there's a lot of people that say a lot of things. But one of the things that I've always said, and I'll always keep saying it, if it looks like a duck and it quacks like a duck, it's a duck. Kind of akin to Occam's razor. The most plausible explanation is usually the easiest one. It is what it is. Now, what I have to say about this is what I usually call the human design is a word I call biomech. Because the way that we're designed seems to be a construction deal. Okay? Humans are constructed to be one big sensory organ that can interact with the environment, which is pretty spectacular. I'm not gonna lie to you. The design of the human is miraculous. It's self-replicating. It can defend itself. It can function autonomously within a group, outside a group, within a mass, outside a mass. It can imagine. It can solve problems. So the fact of the matter is, as much as we'd like to say, oh, hey, well, we just evolved, I really, really doubt it. Okay? Again, walk like a duck, quack like a duck, all that good stuff. All right? It also doesn't help that we have a missing link, which pretty much is the connection between our subspecies, okay, which they believe came from, you know, Neanderthal, all type of thing, to the modern human man. And this gap really doesn't make sense. It really doesn't. What I'm saying is this. It seems like a very, very short time that humans developed from a subspecies to Homo sapien. Well, in the span of Earth years, pretty much, in the span of the time of the planet, pretty much overnight. That doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Okay? So, my thoughts on that, genetic tinkering. It is what it is. That's the simplest solution to that. You know, people are digging up trying to find out what happened and everything. But when you step back and you take a look, it's kind of obvious. Another deal with genetic tinkering is we have a lot of genetic problems, a lot of genetic flaws that aren't found naturally. They're not found in nature. Let's just say, for example, a bird might have 20 flaws. Compared to that bird, we might have 500 flaws. Okay? So, and that is one of the things that happen when you tamper with the human genome. You start creating incongruencies here and there. It starts messing things up. It's akin to pulling a thread on a sweater. Same type of deal. So, the fact of the matter is, all signs point to that. And people are like, well, okay, well, if that's the case, who did? Well, that's not an easy question to answer. A lot of people believe that, you know, people from other species, other planets came down and worked on us and all that kind of good stuff. I've done a lot of research with the late Zachariah Zachariah Kitchen. Zach, I'm sorry for messing up his name. I really apologize. But he did a lot of work on Sumer, and he's the one that talked a lot about the Anunnaki coming down and whatnot, and working on humans and helping develop humans and mixing their genetic material with ours. Zachariah Sechin, I'm sorry, that's it. But the fact of the matter is, even if that's the case, I doubt that that would be the only thing. Because you got to understand, you know, 4 billion years on this earth is a long, long time. And there are thousands and thousands and thousands of possible scientists that could have came through at that time. I'll give you an example. Like when we do research on bunnies and research on mice and rats and stuff like that, there's not just one person that does genetic research. There's tens of thousands of people that do genetic research. And I would say the same thing would happen with us. The exact same thing. We probably have genetic signatures, pretty much fingerprints, from a dozen, at least, species. that have actually done something, experimented, played with, whatever. And it seems like maybe the last species that dealt with us were the main ones that pretty much where we have everything saved today. Um, and I can tell that. Well, I can't tell because understand all this is conjecture. None of this is fact. That's why you have to do your research. That's why you got to do your science. You have to do good science. But I'll put it like this: we have a lot of genes that are cut off. A lot of genes we don't know what happens if we turn them back on. Um, our basic genes are cut on. The ones for survival, the ones for aggression, the ones for reproduction. The most important ones, the ones that keep us alive and keep us procreating and keeps the bloodline going. Now, let's put it like this. If I was a parent and if I was doing the same thing, I would agree with that. I would cut off the genes that could probably have my kids hurting themselves or hurting other people more rapidly. I'll give you an example. Say we have a gene for regeneration. Well, in war, that's not a good thing because soldiers will be killing each other for a long, long time, a whole lot longer than they do now. Say we have a gene for a psychic ability. Well, the possibility of having a psychic ability that could hurt people or evade people's minds, whatnot, you kind of see where I'm going with this. We have a lot of genes that could do a lot of things, but our aggression is a factor. Aggression is a good thing when you're in a savage world and you have to survive. But when you mix that with other genes that might give you that much more power, you gotta be careful. And like I said, a good parent wouldn't want their children to hurt themselves or others. So I kind of think that's part of how all that works out. And again, this is conjecture. Please understand, I'm a scientist. I'm not a quack. So everything I'm saying is theory. But please understand, good science starts with good theory. That's the deal. So don't believe anything I say. Always go and do your research. Always back up and take a look for yourself. Okay, never believe anybody at face value. See for yourself. All right, I'll never ask you that. But for right now, I'm gonna let you guys go. All right, I have to get back to work and do the things that I have to do. But I'll talk to you soon. And as always, guys, take care of each other. Bye bye.